Have you ever been quite certain that some food you are eating is causing an unwanted symptom? Well, food sensitivities, while not the only way your body can react negatively to foods, are quite common. And when you eat a food that you are sensitive to, it causes an inflammatory reaction in your body, which leads to unwanted symptoms. So let me show you how it works. So the top and bottom pictures are white blood cells. The top one was exposed to a non-reactive food to that individual, and so it did not release any mediators. Whereas the bottom white blood cell was exposed to an inflammatory food for that person, and it resulted in burst or release of mediators, which signifies that an inflammatory reaction is going to take place. So every single time you ingest a food that you are sensitive to, it will result in the release of mediators, which will result in an inflammatory reaction. It doesn't matter if that reaction is delayed, as in most food sensitivities reactions, or if it's immediate. It also doesn't even matter whether it was your innate immune system that picked up on that or your adaptive immune system. And now this really will get you. It does not matter whether you notice the symptom or not. That's right. With food sensitivities, you can have an inflammatory reaction to a food and yet not feel the symptoms. So this release of mediators that will happen every time you eat a food that you're sensitive to can be accurately measured. So let me give you the basic principle for that. So look at this little test tube up on top. So the little round balls are white blood cells and the liquid is plasma. Now, very simple mathematical formula for figuring this out, but it is astronomical, the implications of it. So if there is a release of mediators from the white blood cells, then notice how in this little depiction right next to my shoulder that the white blood cell got smaller as those mediators burst out, which means that the plasma got larger. So if there's a release of mediators, the white blood cell is going to get smaller in the test tube. That's exactly what you're seeing here. The top test tube had a non-reactive food put into that individual's blood specimen, whereas the bottom test tube had a reactive food put in, so you can see that the white blood cells got smaller, whereas the plasma got bigger. So there's a machine called the MRT3, and it is very advanced, patented technology that can measure very subtle changes in the white blood cell size. And that can be shown on a graph such as this. So you can see if there was not much change in the white blood cells, then the plasma volume did not get much bigger, so there will not be much change on the bar graph. And that is depicted in green. If there was a moderate level of displacement, the white blood cells got smaller, the plasma got bigger, then it will be reflected by a bigger change on that bar graph, depicted with yellow. And then a highly reactive food will cause the plasma volume to increase quite a bit, and that's depicted in red. So this type of data can be used very effectively by people such as me who have been trained to interpret the results and make a very calm, they call it the Immuno calm diet, to calm down your immune system by only eating the foods that are not causing a reaction for you.